The video shows the drawing module interface, highlighting four main command groups: build, modify, operate, and annotation. It emphasizes creating geometric shapes like circles and arcs, showcasing active commands and options for dimensions. Details on editing dimensions, associativity, and creating auto-associative dimensions are explored. It reveals a step-by-step process for creating standard and associative dimensions in a entity, along with editing parameters values. It shows the command list, available in the drawing module and sketch submodule, essential for editing entities. Various options for editing entities and dimensions in the graphics area are explained. Drawing module interface part. Let's open the drawing module. The main construction and editing commands are available in the top horizontal bar. The commands in the horizontal bar are divided into four groups. Build commands group enable the creation of standard 2D entities like lines, arcs, splines. Modify commands like fillet, chamfer, join. Operate commands like move, copy, mirror. And annotation commands, these are commands for dimensions, entities, and text's definition. Other non-constructive auxiliary commands are accessed through the main menu. Group management commands, parameterization, 2D library management. These operations will be detailed in the next videos. Let's create a simple geometry to show the interface in this environment. First, let's save the drawing with the name Drawing Interface. Creating a circle. Note that the name of the active command is shown in the top bar above the menu. The center point parameter is shown at the top of the graphics area. Functions usually have constructive options. In this case, we can create a circle or an arc. As I move the mouse, the X and Y coordinates axis are shown. If we move the mouse close to one of the coordinate axes, vertical or horizontal, the point is tied to this axis. The 0 point or origin is indicated by this icon. Let's set the origin point as the center. In the second parameter, we can indicate a point on the screen or a point via keyboard or a radius, indicating a radius of 30. The circle is created. Note that after completing the circle definition, a dimension is automatically activated. The first parameter of this dimension is position. Opens a dialog box that allows several configurations. Number of fractional houses. Tolerances, diameter prefixes, etc. Show a text instead of the dimension value. Or indicate a prefix and/or suffix text. The Settings button opens a dialog box with several constructive options: direct dimension, extended dimension, etc. Visually indicate the radius or diameter. Choosing extended dimension. Note that the dimension value is shown in a different color than the dimension lines. This indicates that this dimension is associated with an entity. I can modify dimensions of this entity by editing the dimension. Commands such as multiple lines, circle, offsets, etc. can be configured to create auto-associative dimensions after their definition. Let's manually create a standard dimension of the circle. We can create a dimension in several ways. Activate the line dimension function, click on the circle and then click on the Apply button or press Enter. Or select the circle and use the right mouse button to open a quick menu. Or select the circle and click the line dimension button on the horizontal bar again. Note that the dimension value is now shown in the same color as the dimension lines, indicating that this dimension is not associative. To edit the circle radius value in the associative dimension, press the Control key and select the dimension. We will edit the radius value to 40. Let's see what happens if we do the same procedure in the standard dimension. Now the circle entity creation command is opened for editing. Edit the radius to 35. All constructive commands are stored chronologically in a list. Until now, 3 commands were created. The list is shown on the left side of the graphics area. Normally in other products, this type of list is only available in the 3D part and assembly modules. In SolidFace, the construction tree list is also available in the drawing module, as well as in the sketch submodule. Let's select the circle creation command. See that a message is shown in the graphics area. Select Entity again to edit Entity feature. Clicking the command again, the circle command opens for editing. Another way to edit the circle. In the graphics area, select the circle twice. The circle command will be opened for editing. If we do the same procedure on the dimensions, it will also be opened for editing. Moving the mouse to the bottom area of the screen. The dynamic bar is shown. In this bar are available Model Modules Management, Printing Operation, and Model View functions. To pan an area, move the mouse with the left button pressed. Create a double center line. Moving the mouse closer to the circle. The center is highlighted because auto-info or auto-snap functions are active. In the bottom left bar, there is the auto-info block. There are 3 actives auto-infos: endpoint, middle point, and center of circle. Other info functions can also be manually activated with the info block button, like intersection point, line point, quadrant point. With the right mouse button, you can also access a quick menu of infos. To define the length of the center line, click on the quadrant info function. Let's create a new circle. Activate the relative point option. When the mouse is closer to the circle center is highlighted, and the cursor icon is changed, indicating a point relative to the circle center. Now move the circle center about the x-axis relative to the center of the reference circle. 2 new auto-associative dimensions referring to the relative point are created. Select and delete the vertical dimension with value 0 with the delete key. Using the line command, create a tangent line at the top of the 2 circles. Activate the tangent option for the initial and final parameters of the line. At the bottom, create a tangent arc to 2 circles. Set the initial and end parameters points also with external tangency. As the mouse moves, the radius is shown in the top bar of the application. Settings a radius of 200. Note that this function does not create auto-associative dimensions. Manually create a standard dimension for the circle. Edit the radius to 220. Remember, to edit an entity, there are 3 options. First, click twice on your position in the command list. Second, click twice on the entity on the graphic screen. Third, click on the dimension with the Control key pressed. Create connection lines offsets between the circles. Top offset 6. Lower offset of 7. Adding internal contour and fillets. Let's select the lines in sequence. Fillet of 8. See that the outer arches have been erased. The circle should have been separated at the tangency points before the fillet operation. At this point, we could continue and create an external arch. But let's undo the operation to return before the fillet operation. In the list of commands, select the first fillet and delete all operations after it. It is not yet returned to the previous state. Use the Ctrl+Z key to continue the undo, or use the undo icon button. Now it is returned to the previous state. Let's separate the circles from the tangent lines. Select first circle. And with the trim function, identify the two tangent lines. Repeat operation for the right side. Circle is separated into two arcs. Again, select the lines in sequence and create the fillet of 8. Delete and edit some dimensions. Solid face operates with associative geometry, and these changes will reflect correctly to dimensions and dependent entities. Now create 2 new circles. And join the center lines.